She doesn't follow the crowd. She doesn't need validation. She leads without asking for permission. Only the rarest man can walk beside her without dimming her fire. Welcome back, wisdom seekers. Today we're stepping into uncharted territory, the psychology of the Sigma female, and the one man who doesn't just withstand her storm, but becomes its calm center. This isn't about dominance or submission. It's about synergy. Most men fail with her, not because they're weak, but because they misunderstand her nature. They chase, they cling, they demand. And she disappears. But the man who gets her, he doesn't chase, he doesn't plead, he anchors. And today we're dissecting the 12 traits that make him irreplaceable. First trait, the mirrorless man. The man who doesn't need her reflection to know his worth. A Sigma female doesn't validate, she vets. Most men crumble under her gaze because they rely on external approval. They need praise, admiration, constant reassurance. But the mirrorless man, he's self-contained. If she challenges him, he doesn't retaliate, he reflects. If she withdraws, he doesn't panic, he respects her space. If she praises him, he doesn't inflate, he stays rooted. His confidence isn't borrowed, it's built. And that's why she leans in, because in a world of men who need her to feel whole, he's the one who stands beside her, already complete. Second trait, the silence sharer, the man who speaks her first language, quiet. Most people fear silence. They fill it with noise, small talk, empty words, nervous laughter. But a Sigma female, she thrives in silence. Her solitude isn't loneliness, it's recharge. Her quiet isn't coldness, it's depth. The silence sharer understands this. He doesn't suffocate her with chatter. He doesn't demand constant interaction. Instead, he matches her energy. He sits beside her in stillness, and the silence between them speaks louder than words ever could. He doesn't mistake her quiet for disinterest. He knows it's where her greatest thoughts live. And when she does speak, he listens, not to reply, but to understand. That's the difference. Most men hear her words, he hears her. Third trait, the ego shedder, the man who doesn't perform, he just is. The Sigma female detests performative masculinity, the fake alphas who posture, the insecure men who compete, the charmers who use words as weapons. She sees through it all. But the ego shedder, he's authentic. He doesn't need to prove his strength. It's in his stillness. He doesn't fear her intelligence. He respects it. He doesn't shrink from her independence. He admires it. His confidence isn't loud, it's quiet. And that's what draws her in. Because in a world of men who pretend, he's the one who is. Fourth trait, the fortress mind, the man who doesn't collapse under her intensity. A Sigma female isn't for the faint-hearted. She'll challenge your logic. She'll test your emotional resilience. She'll dissect your contradictions. Most men crumble. But the fortress mind? He stands firm, not in arrogance, in stability. When she debates him, he doesn't take it personally, he engages. When she withdraws, he doesn't assume rejection, he gives her space. When she's sharp, he doesn't flinch, he matches her edge. He's not afraid of her fire, he meets it. And that's why she stays, because he's not just strong enough to handle her, he's strong enough to grow with her. Fifth trait, the freedom giver, the man who doesn't cage her. He trusts her wings. The Sigma female hates feeling trapped. Clinginess repels her. Possessiveness suffocates her. Jealousy, it's an instant turn-off. But the freedom giver, he trusts her. He doesn't monitor her phone. He doesn't demand constant check-ins. He doesn't guilt her for needing space. Instead, he encourages her independence. And here's the paradox. The more freedom he gives, the closer she chooses to stay, because she doesn't want to be controlled. She wants to be chosen. And he chooses her freely. Sixth trait, the soul technician, the man who doesn't just hear her, he feels her. Most men listen to respond. The soul technician listens to understand. He notices the shift in her tone when she's upset. He catches the hesitation in her voice when she's holding back. He reads the silence between her words. He doesn't just hear her, he deciphers her. And when she's struggling, he doesn't rush to fix it. He holds space for it. That's his power. Because the Sigma female doesn't need a savior. She needs a witness. And he sees her. Seventh trait, the non-performer, the man who doesn't act, he just is. The Sigma female hates fakeness. The guys who flex their wealth to impress her, transparent. The ones who name-drop to seem important, pathetic. The performative, nice guys who expect praise for basic decency, exhausting. But the non-performer, he's real. He doesn't exaggerate his accomplishments. He doesn't pretend to be someone he's not. He doesn't play games to manipulate her interest. He's secure in who he is. And that authenticity, it's magnetic. Because in a world of actors, he's the one who doesn't perform. And that's why she trusts him. Eighth trait, the shadow dweller, the man who's faced his darkness and doesn't fear hers. The Sigma female isn't sunshine and rainbows. She has depth, shadows, and all. Most men run from that. But the shadow dweller, he meets her there. He doesn't flinch when she's angry. He doesn't judge her when she's cynical. He doesn't try to fix her when she's in a dark mood. Instead, he holds space for her, all of her. Because he's done his own inner work, he's faced his demons. And now, he's not afraid of hers. Ninth trait, the quiet storm, the man whose loyalty doesn't need to be loud, it just is. Most men announce their loyalty. They post about her on social media. They brag to their friends. They make grand gestures. But the quiet storm, his loyalty is silent. He doesn't need to prove it. He lives it. He doesn't need applause. He shows up. He doesn't need validation. He knows his worth. And that's what earns her trust. Because real loyalty isn't performative. It's consistent. And he's rock solid. 10th trait, the strategic listener, the man who doesn't just hear words. He hears systems. Most men listen to reply. The strategic listener listens to decode. He picks up on her subtle shifts in mood. He notices when she's holding back. He remembers the small details she mentioned weeks ago. He doesn't just hear her, he understands her. And that's rare. Because the Sigma female doesn't just want to be heard, she wants to be known. And he knows her. 11th trait, the curiosity architect, the man who never stops learning her. The Sigma female is always evolving. What fascinated her yesterday might bore her tomorrow. Most men can't keep up. But the curiosity architect, he studies her. Not in a creepy way, in a deeply attentive way. He notices her new interests. He engages her shifting perspectives. He adapts as she grows. He doesn't cling to the past version of her. He evolves with her. And that's why she stays. Because he doesn't just love her, he learns her. 12th trait, the burnproof flame. The man who doesn't fear her fire, he matches it. Most men can't handle her intensity. They call her too much. They ask her to tone it down. But the burnproof flame, he matches her. When she's passionate, he engages. When she's analytical, he debates. When she's fierce, he stands firm. He doesn't try to dim her light. He burns beside her. And that's the rarest connection of all. Because two flames together, they don't destroy each other. they ignite. Closing thoughts. The Sigma female isn't looking for a man to complete her. She's looking for one who complements her. Not a follower, not a controller, a partner. And if you're that man, or striving to become him, know this. She doesn't choose based on words. She chooses based on frequency. And when she finds the one who resonates at her level, that's when the magic happens. So stay rare, stay rooted. Because the right woman doesn't need to be chased, she needs to be met. Want more depth? Hit subscribe. Because here at The Rare Advice, we don't just scratch the surface, we dig deep. Until next time, stay relentless. This is The Rare Advice signing off.